Hi there. Hi, everybody. Mayhem Mother's Day giveaway, folks. This is where we're going to talk a little bit more about Monat. I know you guys have been getting a bunch of information, but I just wanted to kind of put it all together and summarize it for you, and then talk to you about some other things. So I'll just give it a minute and let some people join. It looks like we're starting to see some people on. Let me try to join myself over here and see if I wonder if you can join yourself. That's weird. So I can see comments as they go, and I think I can. So I'll just keep it muted over there, and hopefully I can see comments as they are coming out. And yep, I can see the comments right here on my screen, so that's great. So hi Stephanie, hi Nicole. Christina, thanks for joining. Nikki, Charlie, it's great to see everybody. Gina, hi everybody. I'm so excited. You guys probably don't know me. Maybe some of you do, I hope. But we figured, what the heck? It's a Mother's Day giveaway. Let's have a dude do one of the last presentations. But I hope that you guys. Thanks for the love. I hope that you guys get something out of this, so we can learn something together, and I can give you some information. So I think we've got about 10 folks on. I'm gonna kind of get started because I'm starting out with something I guess I wanted to tell you about. So again, this is a summary for kind of what you might have learned, and kind of tell you more about what Monat means to me. So, and while we're waiting, I'd like to ask everybody, and really this is more about, I guess Market Partners can put it in there, but I want to ask everybody who's joining, I want to ask you about your why about Monat. And it's simply put, why you join this group, why you want to try some of the products, and then why you're watching us, and why you're watching us share our stories, why you're watching us talk about our products. And if you could put that down in the chat, I'd love to see you guys fill that up with some of those little snippets of why are you so involved, and what's made this so interesting, and just think about your whys that you've learned over the last few days and what it means to you. And that's kind of what I wanted to start us out with, right? And so I will tell you this, though. My name is Aaron Henley. I am a Senior Executive Director with Monat. And I want to tell you about Monat. I want to tell you about my story. And I also, at the end of this video, as we get towards the end, so people who stay and watch to the end, they're going to get to be part of something. And if you hear my message and it resonates with you, I'm going to ask you a question at the end, and I want you to, at the end of this video, comment again. And that's really when those are the comments that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to use for a couple of giveaways that I plan to do. And the giveaways are going to be 2 $50 Amazon gift cards. So I'll mention it towards the end, and you guys, I'd love to see your engagement on this as we go. So with that, I just want to tell you a little bit more about Monat. So we've already told you, we've said this product is always safe. This is what we've been doing. This is what the company started with. It was primary objective, be safe, naturally based products. And they also wanted to make it risk-free for anybody who wants to try it. And what does it mean? It means that if you buy the product and it's naturally based products. Some people have allergies. Maybe you're allergic to this specific product. You got a guaranteed return policy. If you don't like it, use it all and you'd return it, and no questions asked. Within 30 days, you get your money back. Guaranteed 100% return. Now, the reality is we sell millions of bottles of our products, skincare and hair care, and we have less than 1% return rate. that tells you that it's working for people and they're seeing the value. But there really is no risk into just trying it and seeing if it works for you. And we've talked about, and I think we've talked a lot about this, but I'm going to briefly touch on the quality of our products and the difference it is for there. Our brand and our products are all about the science. It's about the science, ensure that we're naturally safe. It's about making sure that all our products are cruelty-free. We're Leaping Bunny certified, and you have to get that every year to maintain that. Our skincare and our hair care, cruelty-free. And every one of our products goes through a clinical trial to make sure it works. And they capture, well, it worked. 87% of the people it affected this way. 84% it affected this way, and we publish the results. And we are completely transparent, and we let you know. Not to mention, and I don't know that we talked about this, there is an amazing science board. It's called the Science Advisory Board that Monat started almost right away when they got on board. And they went and recruited some of the most amazing scientists in the industry, from hair, skin, dermatologists, you name it, eye specialists, ophthalmologists, because they want to make sure our products are safe and they actually work the way we're intending them to work. And that is really the difference with Monat. And it makes such a difference in everything. So everything we've talked about, we know we've got your skincare covered, we've got your hair care covered, and even your pets. So there's always something there for you guys. And ultimately, there are many options to interact with us in Monat. I personally want to do what is ever perfect for you guys, and I want you guys to do that for yourselves. And I want you, whoever invited you, to help you find whatever is perfect for you. But there are really three ways to work with Monat. And the way I describe them are, there's a way to spend money with Monat, and that's be a retail customer, and you'll get great products and you'll love your products, but you're going to spend a little bit more money. And, depending on your needs, it is what it is, right? You can spend money, you can save money as a VIP customer, and those are great options. You get free product, you get all the flexibility you can imagine in being a VIP, and there's a one-time lifetime charge of $20. You never have to pay it again, never have to worry about it again, etc. So it's really not a bad way to get a nice savings on your product, and you get a monthly only for you product that you get to pick when you make an order, a qualifying order. And so then the last one is, or you can make money. So with Monat, the option is that you can make money. Now, market partners will get a deeper savings, but you're also, the minute you become a market partner, you have the opportunity to make some money. Now, to be honest, there's a VIP referral program that allows you to get $20 if you refer a VIP, and that's great for everybody who uses that. But everything we're talking about are the options that you can interact with Monat any way you like, and you'll have the products and everything you want. But I wanted to talk also about the company, and I don't know if, I've caught almost all of these. There's been so many activities. I tried to watch every single minute of everything going on here, so I may have missed like the last one that happened today. But we are a family-owned and operated business. The founder of the company was a guy named Senior Luis Urdaneta, and his son is the CEO of the company, and he's Ray Urdaneta. And this is the Urdaneta family that established Monat, and I'm telling you right now, these are people that you want in your life. And I'm going to describe the people you don't want in your life, because we all have them, and I'll explain that. But the people, they care and love everybody who works here, and they really became so close to us that I consider them family. I will walk up and hug them. Even during a quarantine, I got some great hugs out of all of them. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But Senior Luis started as a direct sales guy. He was a Tupperware salesman in the country he lived in, and he became the #1 Tupperware guy in the country. Now, the thing you know about Tupperware is people buy it, and they don't need more tomorrow. They don't wash it on their body, and maybe you burn it out in the dishwasher, which I've been known to do, and I'll buy some more, but you don't. It's not consumable, really. And the guy did an amazing job creating a business. And that's hard work, a lot of walking involved, a lot of hard work, a lot of no's, a lot of yeses, and the guy just worked at it. So what he knows is that he came to this country and said, I've got two options here. I can create a traditional company, and I'm just going to give you some insight in traditional company versus a network marketing direct sales company. A traditional company makes a product, and Monat could have made a product and said, I'm going to sell this traditionally. And instead of, by the way, Christina, I love Senior Louise' story when he talks from the heart. Oh my gosh. And there was an amazing one. His daughter runs the gratitude program, which is on my head here. And she interviewed her dad, and her dad got her to cry. It was an amazing event. They did it at in the Cayman Islands, and it was phenomenal. And when they do that, you just know you're part of something that matters. Anyways, so he brings this business, and he could have started a traditional business where you say, okay, I'm going to create a traditional business. What do you need to do to sell your product in a traditional business? You need to set up a distribution channel. You need to set up a marketing organization. You need to set up a sales force and sales organization. You need to connect with some kind of advertising company. You need to advertise. You need to create training materials so that the retail companies that put it on their shelves are able to sell it. You need to get on their shelves. And sometimes that involves some of this. And so all of these things are the normal expenses that happen in a business, any business. And so the reality is, when you decide to start a business, you're going to pay a lot of money to set all of that up and pay those people. Ask yourself, who makes money with that? Is the sales guy making life-changing money? He might. There might be 3 of them making life-changing money. Is there a advertising organization? Did the guy who wrote the ad make the money? No. The guy who wrote the ad, the people that make the money are the CEOs of those companies. The store company that's selling it now is taking the brunt of it, and they're selling it at the low margins, and they're making a lot on volume, and they get paid at the CEO level and investor level. That's traditional business. Costs basically the same as a direct sales business. So I just want you to start to think about these two type of businesses and why it's so important and why it's so different, and why it, at the end of the day, matters to me, the businesses that I work with. And so a network marketing business takes all that money we just described, and this is Senior Louise' fundamental what he wants to do for the business. And what does he wants to do for the people? He wants to put it in the people who invited you to this business. He wants to make it so that somebody can change their life, not some CEO can get a bigger yacht. He wants somebody who can't make a mortgage payment be able to make a mortgage payment. Somebody who just is no longer doing haircuts or waiting tables or at the school teaching their students. He wants to put money in their pockets, and he wants to change their life. And how much they change their life is really all about what you want to do and what your goals are and how big you want to dream. And trust me, Senior Louise will ask you what your dream is, and then he'll ask for you to make it bigger. And he really feels that with me when I talk to him. And so the family, through all of this, decided that that's the kind of business they wanted. And they set out to change lives and impact people that matter. And that people that matter are the people that are presenting you this opportunity. And you shouldn't be ashamed to buy from them. You shouldn't be ashamed to be part of it. It's business, and it's a great way to help small business people earn a living, feed their families, and maybe help them have a different life than they dreamed. But to get a little more facts, Monat provides 50% of the revenue that comes in goes back into the market partner's pocket. 50% instead of the CEO's pocket or the advertising company's pocket or some investor's pocket. It goes back in the market partner's pocket. It's in the form of commissions, bonuses, and trips. And the trips are amazing, and I've been on more trips than I know what to do with, and I just love them all. And they basically sent me on a second honeymoon this year. I got to go to the Cayman Islands. Excuse me. It's part of my story, and I'll tell you about it in a minute. But they were able to send me to Cayman Islands. They didn't even know that it mattered so much to us, and they put us in the room that was like right above the room we had last time. I had the picture of the door we had last time. It was just amazing to see all of this. And so I just wanted to tell you that the company really created a culture. My wife was one of the first people that started this company back in 2014, before it even had products, before a web page, before it launched. And those early people said, I'm going to work this business from my heart. And the entire company and culture believed it and bred that. And we work from our heart, whether it's helping customers have great hair and great skin, or it's helping somebody make a mortgage payment. We care. And in normal companies like this, people go, oh, you're not on my team? I don't make any money off you? Forget you. You're my enemy. And here at Monat, we love everybody, man. And nobody did it better than my wife. And so anyways, I did want to say that Monat just demonstrates that they inspire the market partners to do that. They inspire us to have that culture of gratitude and giving back. And even recently in April, they created a product from the ground up. They said, okay, the world needs us. We're going to create hand sanitizer, and we're going to give away 240,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. 200,000 went to the customers, 40,000 went to the frontline support teams that are in this crisis in the local area, where they're in Miami, Florida. And then they also added 500 one-gallon sanitizer jugs that they gave away to care centers down there. And so it's about giving, it's about impacting your community, and it's 100% covering the heart. And that's what the company comes from. So when we talk to you guys about, hey, how can I help you? And it's help you with your hair, skin, maybe you're putting food on the table. It's from the heart. I honestly don't care if somebody spends $1 with us. I care that they get what they need to make themselves feel a certain way, look a certain way, be their best you that you can possibly be. And that's what I care. And that's what I spend my entire day doing. Is I can just tell you, I count the number of people. I go, my gosh, I think I personally helped these many people feel better about themselves. I helped these many people put more food on the table and all of those things. And I just love that. It gives me so much back here. So I'm going to tell you, I spent 30 years in the technology industry. I was a tech guy. And then I ended up in a company where I spent 21 years of my career there. And really, the leadership team there, I had a couple of managers that were kind of nice, but, I got to a senior level and they just treat you like cattle. I spent the last 10 years of that job having to fire people. And it was so bad that even after I left that company, they called me back and made me come back and fire the last 8 people because they were sending those jobs off to China. It's like, oh my gosh, it was such a hard thing to do. And it just, at your core, it hurts. And I kept trying to give people new jobs and rather than fire them. But it's at some point, and then you got to spend the time saying, feel good at who's ever left. You got to feel good about your job. That's how I spent my last 10 years. And I go, my gosh, why is this so hard? And then I found these leaders in this company. And those are the people I want to surround myself with. I want to surround myself with people who really care about my heart and care about my family and will do whatever it takes to help me be successful so that I can help my family and I can help others people with their family. And they really do care about us. And that's one of the lessons I learned from corporate America is find that place, that those people you can work with that really are with you there. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have that, if your job is defining you, you think about quarantine I could have spent 60, 70 hours working at my tech job, and it became the definition of me, and it felt like it was the definition of me. And the reality is, that's not what defines me. It's my family, it's the love and caring, and I wanted to be in a company that I can define myself. I can define myself through my actions and my family and my caring and my reaching out and all of those things. And that's kind of what this company has allowed me to do. And even in this time of crisis, when everybody's at home going, I define myself as a teacher, and I haven't been teaching for 6 weeks. How does that make you feel inside? And it's a tough one. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, but I'm going to move on. So after losing my executive level job, You can imagine that's a tough one for your family. Those jobs are not easy to replace. So within a short time, my home went into foreclosure. This was the perfect time too, because the U.S. markets, the mortgage, you know what happened. That you can tell me when it was, and that's when this happened. And it was a terrible time. My house was worth nothing compared to what I paid for it, and all of those things. And it was a really hard time. And so I was looking for another job. My wife Roxy was staying at home. She was a stay-at-home mom up till then. And I ended up getting a job in Canada, and we had a really, really complicated life. I rented a home in Canada, had a home foreclosed being foreclosed in the U.S., had kids still going to school in the U.S., college and high school. And so Roxy's spending time there. I'm spending time there. What a nightmare. We had driving 500 miles each way. I loved living in Canada. Don't get me wrong. I loved my boss in Canada. I found those people who touched me there too. And they were fantastic to work for. However, that's not the kind of life that I envisioned for our family. It's not the one Roxy was trying to build for our family. So, and then we started getting back on our feet based on my job, and the Canadian dollar, on purpose by the Canadian government, said, let's make it a little easier to trade with the U.S., drop the Canadian dollar by 30%. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I just lost 30% of my salary, basically, because I had to move most of my money back to the States. And it was brutal. And suddenly we're in financial hardship again. And so Roxy wanted to do something. She didn't want to do something where she's locked in on a 9-to-5 job or working weekends, or she needed to find something that was ultimately flexible, such that we can come home, visit the kids and the grandkids, work from anywhere, you name it, right? And that's what we wanted to be able to do. And so she continued to look for things. And you know what? She found Monat. It was lucky for us. We were incredibly lucky to find it when we did. And she spent our last $400 on a product pack. And it was one of those things where you go, you know, I couldn't even cross the border because I didn't have money in my account to pay the toll. And so it was like, and then that's about when she told me that she did it. She did it like right before we went on a trip back home. But here's what I knew. I knew she needed something for herself. She worked for my family as the stay-at-home mom for years. And she needed something more to help define herself. And she was looking for that thing. And, you know, you can be a great mom and all of that. And she was amazing. But it's something that you've got to really get. So I knew I trusted her. I knew this product was amazing. I knew the reactions I was hearing about the Rejuvenique oil. That's one of the first products that we were able to try. And it's like, oh my God, I even love the Rejuvenique oil. And it helped me through several things. And I love all the little hearts and hugs and all of that, guys. Thank you. But I love those products. I know people wash their face. People don't rub Tupperware on their hair every day. And I knew that. I know they wash their skin. And I know that it's renewable. And I met these leaders early on. Tony talks about a first meet, and Roxy was there, and she met the leaders, and they were amazing. Come back with tears in her eyes. Went down to Miami, more tears in her eyes. Just felt the love from these people, and it's just something that was amazing. So she worked super hard, got herself to the top of the comp plan. So she's the reason why I'm an SED. And she was the 4th senior executive director in the entire company. And her why was bigger than that still. Her why, she was looking at how we were living our lives. That's not how we wanted to live our lives. And so in the time that we were there, we built and bought our dream home in Canada, sold it, bought our dream home in the U.S., and she retired me at the age of, was it 51? Or was I'm going to say I was 50 still, but I think it was 52. She retired me from my corporate job, and I was an executive salary, and we simplified our lives. sold the house in Canada, moved everybody back here, bought a ridiculously large house so that we could have family over all the time. And, you know, Roxy just loved that. I love it. I love all my grandkids and my kids, but man, it's a lot of kids. We have 7 kids, by the way. It was a blended family. We met when I had 4, she had 3, and we knew there was no way we would ever get together because who wants to have 7 kids, right? And there you go. That's when we let our guards down, and then we fell in love. Anyways, so that's what she did. She retired me, and we started changing our lives. And so what was my new job? My new job, I helped her out with her business. I knew a lot about it. I did a lot of the back office stuff. I'd do all of her mailings. I'd help with that. But my full-time job was to help my kids, help and love on my grandkids, and love on my wife as a full-time job. That was it. And of course, I said everything she'd do in the business. But my full-time job was to love on my family and especially Roxy. At the time, this was 2 years ago. At the time, I had no idea how important that change in our life would be. Excuse me. Recently, my dearest Roxy passed away. It was a complete surprise to all of us. But I'm so grateful that all the work she had done for us as a family allowed me to spend all that time with her. If I had just continued to work, I put 60, 70 hours in with really ultimately what would have been a meaningless tech job. I would have put so much time in making a new widget on a phone. Who cares? That would have been 60 to 70 hours a week spent with them. Instead, I spent all of that time with investing in the richness of my own family. After she passed, I found thousands of our extended family within Monat reach out to us. They were sharing their love. They were sharing the times they had with her, and they were how they were caring, and that she shared all this love and sharing she did with them. And almost, I don't know how she did this, but almost every single person who reached out basically told me Roxy made them feel as if she was their special person. I don't know how you do that with thousands of people. So I am, with her daughter, continuing her legacy. I'm channeling her love and strength. It's the only way I'm able to do this call at all. To make the most impact on other people's lives. And that was fundamentally right in her heart, one of the things that she talked about all the time. And now I want to talk about these times we're living in right now. Prior to these times, people all thought, this job I'm working, this is helping protect my family. Ultimately, it's defining me. It's making me more of who I am. That's not how it works. The external world is not how you define yourself. Somewhere in you, you're living through a crisis right now. And your definition of yourself is a fluid thing. And there is no office place, no boss, no virus that is going to define me or protect my family. And I'm telling you right now, I care about every single person who cared enough to join my call or cared enough to share with us in this group. I care enough about every single one of you to tell you that whatever it is you need, whatever it is we can help you with, that's what we want to do. And that's what we're going to go do. And ultimately, I want everybody to get yourselves and your family, no matter what you ultimately do. It doesn't have to be Monat. But whatever you ultimately do, get that back in your own hands. Get that back into who you are and make it the next chapter of your family's life, put it in your control, and ultimately the legacy of your family. And that's what it'll be. And so I want you guys to think about that and think about that. And so when I talk to you about why you joined this call and why you joined this giveaway group and why you might be interested in Monat and what Monat is, I wanted to talk to you about the depth of what I was really asking you. What is the depth? And not everybody can see it. Not everybody might feel it. You might be 21 years old and the depth is, I just want better hair, man. And I don't have a problem with any of that, because somewhere in there, you having better hair is inside and out. It helps you. It's better skin inside and out. It makes you feel like the best you ever. And if that's what you accomplish, I would love that for you. And so I'm telling you, but I'm looking for the other people who might want to think a little bit deeper and think about their why and think about deep down in their heart. What do you need in your life? Will that define you? I'd love for you guys to comment again, and this is what I want to hand out 2 $50 Amazon gift cards for. If you guys can deepen your why, ask yourself the depth of your why and what really is your why and what you want to change in your life, what you need from your life that you haven't got yet. And really, those are the comments I'm looking for at the end of this video, because that's going to change your life. It's going to impact your life. We're only trying to help you with hair, skin, pet stuff, and maybe some food on the table. But your why can help define you, and I'd love for you guys to think about it and go all the way there. So I think I jumped way ahead in what I was talking about, but I don't want anybody to ever think that when I'm talking about the depth of your why, that just your skin and hair, making that better, is not a real why. It is. I've seen people, if you go to the before and after groups that we host, I've seen people with just terrible things on their skin, or a young 16-year-old kid that just, oh my God, he's dealing with so much. And for that kid, I saw him use the face scrub for 1 month, and oh my God, what a difference for him. And it just made me feel like that kid is a different person. He's going to walk into school someday, that when we walk back into school, and he's going to feel so different inside his heart. And just take that away. I know looks doesn't define anybody, but you know what? Sometimes you just feel good about yourself. And it just changes the way you look at things. So I love that. Don't be ashamed if that's the depth of your why. It's an awesome why, and I hope everybody who has that need gets what they need. But I'm also here to tell you everything is possible. And I'd like you guys to reach out to the person that invited you and see if there's a way that can help you have a better life, a better you, stuff like that. If you've discovered your deeper why, I've already covered this, so I'm not going to go into that. But I will add one more thing. There is a possibility inside Monat, and this is part of a deeper why, that this business is not only a legacy you can establish for your inside self and your family today, but your family can reap the benefits of the legacy and actually inherit your business. And that's what I plan to do for Roxy's business. That's what I did with Roxy Business. Even though her and I were a team, we've been up on stage several times together throughout this process. And I know a thing or two about this, and I've been a leader in my career for probably a long time. So I do know how to lead, and it's how I'm helping some people. But I want you to think about that and think about the depth of your why, and I'd love to see what your thoughts are on that. So as you guys all think about this, and perhaps share with me, and I'd love that, I'm going to leave you with something that I found on Roxy's computer. And I know there's a lot of people who know this, but I found a Post-it note attached to Roxy's computer when I came up to her computer the next day. And it's actually the same thing that I'm wearing on my shirt. A dear friend took the Post-it note, her actual writing, put it on shirts, and created a website called Roxy Cares. Roxy Cares is a business that her and I named her business about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I think it was 2 years ago. And so hashtag Roxy Cares. But at the end of the day, she does care. She did care. And I want to read exactly what the words say, and I'll leave you with this. So this was on her Post-it note. She said, read daily, and had these 2 little flowers on it, which I love the 2 little flowers. She wrote that for herself, the 2 little flowers. And she said this, and I think everybody on this call who takes this should think about this for themselves. And she read this every day. She said, who do I want to be? How do I want to get there? How can I make the most impact on other lives? So we're living that. And then finally she wrote, how do I want to be remembered? And I know that she's been remembered through her legacy and through the people that she impacted already, that changed their lives, that quit their jobs, that did various things. And she will always be remembered for that. So I'd love to hear your whys below. And I thank you so much for joining this giveaway. And I thank you for listening to me. And I will set the time. Oh my gosh. I will listen to your whys and record your whys till about 7. And then I will put a thing together, and I will pick 2 of you guys for $50 gift cards. Thanks for listening to me, guys. Thanks so much for being part of this. This has been an amazing thing for me, and I hope you guys have learned something and take away everything you can from this experience. It's your life. Thanks. Take care. Bye.